Hey guys, Miss Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back with some Master League episode number 12, I believe, with Southampton, the mighty Saints of England. Anyway, in today's episode we have 3 matches for you today from the Premier League, and of course, with us being 4 points behind Manchester United, this game against Manchester United is a very, 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 very important game, because of course, we beat them, we have a chance. So, we had quite a lot of weird things happening in this game in particular because of the fact that a lot of suspensions. We have, what's his name? We had Morgan Shireland suspended, as well as quite a lot of other players in general. But I was just checking out some players here. Blonny, I don't know who the hell he's even meant to be. Does anyone know who he's meant to be? Because I have no clue. But anyway, we had the likes of Morgan Shireland not playing, so Jack Cork came into midfield. And we also, of course, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain playing on the right-hand side, and Gio Rodriguez playing on the left, with Graziano Pella up front. So, of course, the whole match against Manchester United, last time we faced them, they actually beat us 2-1 at Old Trafford. Juan Mata and Robin Van Persie scored. But in this game, of course, we're 4 points behind them. We want to try and win the game to, of course, lessen the gap to 1 point, which, of course, will help quite a lot. But then again, I don't care about winning the league. I care about getting the top 4 position is what you really want, because then, of course, allows me to advance the storyline of being a Southampton manager. And if I go on and win the Champions League and don't win the league ever, it doesn't matter, because it's about winning the Champions League. That's all I really care about. So the game kicked off, of course, as you expect of us kicking off, because we're the home side. And in the 7th minute of the match here, Ashley Young gets thrown goal, gets a shot away. It's a really good save from the goalkeeper, but it comes out straight back to Ashley Young, and he just pops in the back of the net to give Manchester United this, well, not a shock lead, but a lead in the first minutes of the match. So it was a bit frustrating, but literally about 5 or 6 minutes later, Jack Cork runs past about 4 players, pops in the back of the net for him to score the equalising goal and take us all the way up to the half-time mark, where not really much happened. I mean, from the half-time, from the 2 goals scored, we sort of evened out quite a lot in the midfield, because of course Manchester United playing like 5 in midfield and playing 3 at the back. It sort of was quite weird, as you can see there. There was only 4 shots in the first half, 3 of which were on target, and the 2 on target for Manchester United were the goal and the shot before the goal. So, going into the 60th minute here, as Robin Van Persie scores a goal after a nice through ball from Falcao, and Van Persie chips Fraser Forster. And I was really pissed off, because I was like, really? But literally from the kickoff, I sort of was like, I'm not taking any of this stuff from Manchester United anymore. So I brought in Stephen Davis for Gio Rodriguez, because Gio Rodriguez had not really done much in this game. Eventually, Stephen Davis here gets the ball, and I cross it in first time back into Graziano Pella, who ends up heading it past David De Gea to equalise, literally after Manchester United had just taken the lead. Now, a big thing about this goal was the fact that De Gea completely jumped the wrong way. For whatever reason, just decided he did not really want the ball anymore. So, going into about 10 minutes after this, Nathaniel Klein on his left-hand side ends up crossing it in for Stephen Davis to try and header it down. Can't header it down. Really poor defending from, I think it was Chris Smalling. And it comes out to Graziano Pella once again for him to pop it into the back of the net from us to take basically what would be considered a shot clearly against Manchester United, and the first time we've actually taken a lead in this particular match. But about, again, another 10 minutes after that, Cesar Azpilicueta runs on his left-hand side, runs past Michael Carrick, having come on as a substitute, runs past a couple of players, gets a shot away, and scores his first goal for the club, and his first goal in general in quite a while, for make it a 2-goal lead against Manchester United, which is quite a big thing, considering that Manchester United are considered one of the better teams in the league. And it's Azpilicueta scoring as well, which is sort of quite nice, because it's his first goal for his new club. So in the last minutes of the match, they again got another sort of opportunity to try and get the ball into the box. Eventually Wayne Rooney gives the ball up here from Stephen Davis, and we won 4-2 against Manchester United, which is just absolutely insane, considering that they are, again, the top of the table team, and we're second in the table, but now we're only 1 point behind them. So if they ever slip up in any sort of way, we can actually capitalise on their slip up and end up going top of the table, which would be absolutely amazing. But as you see, sort of there, Graziano Pella got man of the match, and we go into the next game in the league against Burnley. Now, Burnley, last time we faced them, we beat them like 4-1 or 5-1 or whatever the hell it was, or even 5-0, because they went down to like 10 men after about 2 minutes into the match. So in this particular match, it was interesting because a lot of the players were quite tired, because it had just come back from the international break had just occurred. So the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Gio Rodriguez were fine, because they don't play for England. Graziano Pella was fine because he doesn't play for Italy. But the likes of Tadic and Alderweireld and Gardos were all absolutely dead, which was not really fun at all because those are my main players. So with that being said, I went to the game against Burnley, and of course Burnley were a side we've already destroyed completely, easily before Lancashire Clarets, and of course they kicked off because of course it was their home match. And I mean, this game was really interesting because again, it's one of those games after having come off winning a game against the likes of Manchester United. In the first minutes of the match, they played some really nice football here. Sam Vokes gets on the ball, runs past a couple of players, doesn't really do anything with the ball until he eventually gets a pass away here, gets a shot away, and unfortunately for me, it's actually offside. But I mean, my God, like really. But in literally the 18th minute of the match here, great corner from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain results in us scoring a goal with Graziano Pella for us to take the lead in literally the 20th minute of the match. It was absolutely great. And about 10 minutes later, Graziano Pella again waiting for Morgan Stanley to make a little run down this left-hand side, or down the middle. Doesn't really happen, but Jay Rodriguez ends up getting the ball, skins past Matthew Taylor completely, runs past a couple more players, ends up getting a shot away. It's a really good shot, and again he scores against his former club like he did in the reverse game this season, and scores to make it 2-0. So a 2-0 win against Burnley would be absolutely fantastic, but that's not how we really operate. We sort of go for more goals. So yeah, at Turf Moor at half time it was 2-0 to Southampton. Not really, I wouldn't say dominating, but again playing quite a weakened team, like some Pacini playing and sort of stuff like that. So of course going forward we weren't really weakened, but at the back we were quite severely depleted. So coming to the 66th minute of the match here, as we clear the ball eventually, Graziano Pella heads it on to Mane, who'd come on for Tadic. And I just sort of waited until eventually some sort of space erupted up for me to run past Duff. I ended up running past him but 2 times, give it to Graziano Pella, he runs past Ward, nothing he can do about it, and he just pings it back in the net to score his 18th league goal of the season, or even 19th league goal of the season. The man's just an absolute beast. Like, just, no. But literally in the last minutes of the match here, as I sort of show it here, Shalaba gets thrown goal, gets a shot away, and he scores a nice easy goal, a nice consolation goal for Burnley to make it 3-1 to us. But still, we conceded a goal, but again we had a very depleted we had a very depleted defence in general. So with that being said, we still won 3-1, which is quite good, all the while they're like sort of having a little laugh with Pacini. Of course, Pacini basically being our backup right back at the current moment, of course, as Piliqueta can play both left back and right back. But as you see there, Burnley absolutely dominated us in the second half, 62% possession, but Graziano Pella man of the match, which is just absolutely great. I thought Manny didn't start, but Manny did start, so I don't really know what's going on. But anyway, as you can see here, we're into the last game of this episode. It is away to Crystal Palace, to Neil Warnock's side. Of course, they have the likes of Yannick Bolasie and Jason Punchin and Wilfred Zaha and Fraser Campbell up front, Julian Speroni in goal, and Breda Hangeland at the back. So, game against in Selhurst Park. Of course, it's a very interesting game because, of course, if we win this game, we could potentially go, maybe potentially go above Manchester United in the league. Of course, I'm not showing you the league table since the end of the last episode. I do show you at the end of this episode, as I usually do, as it's a common occurrence, because of course you want to know what the league table is looking like after the games have gone by. So in this particular game against Crystal Palace, as you'd expect, we've sort of wanted to sort of focus quite a lot on beating them quite easily, but not conceding too many opportunities. So in the first minutes of the match here, they're passing the ball about, and quite comfortably they're just sort of trying to get forward here as they're attempting to get an early goal in this game. If I remember correctly, it does not really work out for them at all, because we did quite good bit of defending. Fraser Campbell eventually gets away from Vlad Churches, eventually goes to Ward, and potentially for me that probably should have been a penalty, but the referee played on. Literally from that moment, Luke Shaw gives the ball to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He runs past about 4 players, gets a shot away, and he ends up getting a great shot away. Comes at the Tadic, and Tadic pops in back of the net for us to take a lead in the first 5 minutes of the match, after they had probably had the opportunity to maybe score, considering that it might have been a penalty. In my personal opinion, it probably was a penalty. But in the 20th minute of the match here, Morgan Stanley gets the ball past Yannick Bolasie eventually, gives the ball back. Does he give the ball back? No, he doesn't give the ball. It just goes on his own run, gets a shot away, and Julian Speroni makes an absolutely great save. But from the resulting corner kick, Speroni comes flying out, tries to head it away, tries to punch it away, gives the ball to Nathaniel Klein. Klein gives it to Tadic. Tadic runs past Ramage. Keep the ball in play, give it back to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Chamberlain tries to head it in, tries to give it in, gives it to Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw pops it past Speroni with a very, very, very fortunate kick, as it takes a massive deflection off their centre back for us to take the 2-0 lead, which I was quite happy with, considering that they're not too good a side, but they were doing quite well in terms of defensive wise until we scored our first goal and then our second goal, which is quite good. So as you can see there, 2-0 at half time against Crystal Palace. Not too bad considering that there's not really, well, it's always good to be winning 2-0 in general, but of course, as you can see, probably the end of the episode is coming up quite soon, so that sort of says quite a lot about what happens in the second half. Not much happened in the second half, literally nothing. Come up into the last minutes of the match here as Fraser Campbell tries to get through on goal. Fraser Forster comes flying out. I end up kicking the ball away, and that was really about it. I mean, I made some substitutions, and that was really about that. I mean, not much had happened in the second half, as you sort of what am I trying to say here? You saw the stats at half time, and they dominated in possession and in terms of pass completion percentage, but anything else they hadn't really dominated in. And of course, you'll see the stats at full time that nothing else had really happened. They'd still bettered us on possession, and we just had more shots. That was really about it. But this is what you all really care about, is seeing the league table, which I will show you in a moment. But as you see there, Aston Villa got beat by Manchester United, so of course, us being 1 point behind them, we should potentially be top of the table, which is a big thing. Of course, Liverpool beat Tottenham, Man City beat West Brom, West Ham beat Arsenal, which is just weird, because that shouldn't really be happening. And we go on to show you the table. So, of course, as you probably already figured out, we're going to end up being top of the table because of Manchester United being beaten, which is just fantastic. But we're only top of the table by 1 point, or 2 points, which isn't really that big a thing, considering that being top of the table wasn't really that special. I mean, as you can see there, 72 points with us being top of the table, Man United on 70, Chelsea on 61, Man City on 59, so we're 11 points clear of Chelsea, we're 2 points clear of Manchester United. Can we stay there? Well, probably, but let's hope we could just probably stay there. So, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.